Last winter, I drove my Tesla in 15-degree weather and watched my range drop by 40%, practically overnight. Nobody warned me about this when I bought the car. The salesperson talked about how great the heating was, how the all-wheel drive handles snow, but they conveniently left out some critical details about what happens when the temperature drops below freezing. If you live anywhere with real winter, here's what you actually need to know. This isn't about bashing Tesla. I still love my car, but you deserve to know the reality. Let's start with the thing that shocked me most. The range loss is real and significant. My Model 3 is rated for 340 miles of range. In summer, I get 320 to 330 miles. But last January, when temperatures were around 20 degrees, I was getting 220 to 240 miles on a full charge. That's a 30 to 35% loss. When it got down to 0 degrees, I was losing close to 40%. If you live in Minnesota or Wisconsin or anywhere that gets serious winter, you need to plan for this. Here's why it happens. Battery chemistry slows down in cold temperatures, but the bigger issue is heating the cabin. A gas car uses waste heat from the engine to warm you up. That heat is free. An electric car has to use battery power to run a heater, and that uses a lot of energy. Regenerative braking also doesn't work as well when the battery is cold. This isn't a Tesla problem. This is physics. Every electric vehicle loses range in the cold. Now, here's the thing that makes the biggest difference. Preconditioning. This is your best friend. Preconditioning warms up the battery and heats the cabin while the car is still plugged in. You're using electricity from your house, not from the battery. When I first got my Tesla, I'd unplug the car, get in, turn on the heat, and drive to work. I was using 25% of my battery for a 25-mile commute. Once I started preconditioning, that same commute used 12% of my battery. That's more than double the efficiency. Here's how to do it right. Set your departure time in the car's settings and make sure the car is plugged in overnight. The car will automatically start warming up 30 to 45 minutes before you leave. If you're not on a schedule, manually precondition from the Tesla app 20 minutes before you leave. The key is to leave the car plugged in while it's preconditioning. If you precondition without being plugged in, you're just draining your battery to warm up the battery. Charging in winter is the other big thing you need to understand. A cold battery charges slowly. In summer, I can supercharge from 20% to 80% in about 25 minutes. In winter, if my battery is cold, that same charge can take 45 minutes or longer. The solution is preconditioning for supercharging. When you use Tesla's navigation and route to a supercharger, the car automatically warms the battery as you drive. This is why you should never use Google Maps on a winter road trip. Use Tesla's navigation. With preconditioning, my charging stop is 25 to 30 minutes. Without it, I'm sitting there for 45 minutes to an hour. Normally, you don't want to charge to 100% because it's not great for battery health. But in winter, Tesla has a trip mode that lets you occasionally charge to 100% for long drives. The extra buffer helps offset the range loss. Just don't do this every day. Let me talk about driving performance. The all-wheel drive Model 3 is excellent in snow. The low center of gravity gives you great stability. I drove through 6 inches of snow last year on all-season tires with no problems. If you live in an area with heavy snow, winter tires like Bridgestone Blizzak make a big difference. But for occasional snow, all-season tires work fine. One thing you'll notice in the first 10 to 15 minutes of driving is that regenerative braking is limited. The car coasts more because the battery isn't warm enough yet. You just have to use the friction brakes more until the battery warms up. Here are practical tips that make a difference. Always plug in overnight, even if your battery is at 80%. Set up scheduled departure for your work schedule. Remote start the climate 15 to 20 minutes before you leave. Use the defrost mode instead of scraping ice. Park in a garage if you can. Use seat warmers instead of cranking the cabin heat. Seat warmers use way less power. Keep the cabin temperature at 68 instead of 72. There's also a range mode in the settings that limits climate power and helps efficiency. Let's talk about cost. Yes, you use more electricity per mile in winter. In summer, I get about 3.5 miles per kilowatt hour. In winter, that drops to 2.5 miles per kilowatt hour. At 15 cents per kilowatt hour, that's about $17 more per 1,000 miles. But even at 6 cents per mile in winter, I'm still paying less than half what I'd pay for gas. A gas car getting 25 miles per gallon at $3.50 per gallon costs 14 cents per mile. Winter doesn't make Tesla ownership more expensive than driving a gas car. If you're planning a winter road trip, factor in extra time. A route that takes 6 hours in summer might take 7 hours in winter. You'll want to charge to higher percentages, maybe 70 or 80% instead of 60%. Some routes that are easy in summer become more challenging in winter, especially in remote areas with limited charging. But for normal road trips on major highways, it's totally doable with more conservative planning. So is winter a deal breaker? Here's my honest take. If your daily commute is under 100 miles and you have home charging, winter is not a problem. Even with 30 or 40% range loss, you've got plenty of range for daily driving. If you live where it's 20 to 35 degrees most of the time, you'll barely notice an issue. Where you might struggle is if you're doing 150-plus miles daily in extreme cold with no workplace charging. Or if you live in very rural areas with limited charging and temperatures regularly below zero. For most people, winter is an adjustment, not a deal breaker. I've done 3 winters with my Tesla. The range loss is real. Charging takes longer. I have to think about preconditioning and plan trips differently, but it hasn't changed my life in any meaningful way. I still save money compared to my old gas truck. I still love the car. I still don't miss gas stations in freezing weather. You just need realistic expectations and understand that winter requires a little more planning. What's your biggest concern about owning an electric car in winter? Drop it in the comments. If this helped you, hit subscribe for more honest Tesla content. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.